Welcome to the One Gang Worldwide podcast, your ultimate ride into the world of motorcycles. Visit cyclesworldwide.com where we offer a completely free marketplace for everything motorcycles. Join our One Gang community where you can connect, share info, and swap stories with riders from all over the world. Join for free at cyclesworldwide.com and be a part of the One Gang community right now.
Hey, One Gang, today's episode isn't just any episode, it's our 50th. So we are excited to share with all you guys that have been with us on this journey, whether you're brand new or you've been with us since the first episode. We can't thank our listeners enough for the support, and it's your enthusiasm and engagement that fuel this community in every episode we create. So let's kick off this reflection and look ahead right here on the One Gang Podcast.
One Gang Worldwide Podcast, brought to you by Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping. Since 1978, Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping has been the trusted name in transporting motorcycles safely across the country. With custom designed pallets and air ride trailers, your bike is secure and protected every step of the way. By choosing Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping, you're supporting a dedicated small business that prioritizes quality and customer satisfaction. Ship with a peace of mind, knowing your motorcycle is in expert hands.
Please visit shippingmymotorcycle.com. That's shippingmymotorcycle.com. And now, back to our show.
What's up, One Gang? My name is Serge. That's my partner. I'll let him introduce himself.
What's up? Hey, everybody, it's Ben. Excited. Today's a fun milestone.
Yeah, this is a episode that we do every 50, so you won't have to see our mugs talking too much. We'll continue to bring some awesome people on, and that's the vision for this. But we kind of wanted to get into a little introduction of who we are, what the mission behind Cycles Worldwide was, what the mission is behind our One Gang community, what the mission is behind a One Gang Worldwide podcast. That way, everybody kind of gets a little bit of an understanding of who we are. So I'll start first. My name is Serge Talkman. Been in the motorcycle industry for over 20 years. I've had a small business here in Palm City, Florida, called Nice Ride Inc. Buying, selling Harley Davidsons, custom building bikes. My shop, we had a service and repair shop. A lot going on. Built a small business for a long period of time in an industry that I absolutely love and adore. What had happened is probably around 2017, 2018, you truly started seeing market shifting where the 1% companies were kind of starting to monopolize products, services, things of that nature. And after COVID hit, obviously everybody knows that the parts section and all that stuff was really hard to get. Shit was out on containers, which was containers out in the middle of the sea, which was bullshit. That just shows you the lack of U.S. production, and everything's so dependent on China. What had happened is that we had a thriving service and repair shop, had a couple of mechanics working with us, and good group of guys, and unfortunately I had to downsize the business. It just wasn't the direction I wanted to do. Things were just harder to get. Companies like Harley Davidson started cutting out the small dealers. They stopped selling them parts, so it was hard to get OEM stuff that we needed that made your bikes perform better. So we had to use aftermarket parts, stuff like that. But my vision was really just to kind of build something as a small business to help other small businesses. So that's how we got to Cycles Worldwide. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I'm going to let Ben talk a little bit about who he is.
Yo, I'm Ben Bailey. Summarizing everything. My dad was a software developer. So I was on a computer since, I got one of those pictures where I was 5 and reaching up to touch the keyboard. My dad caught me in his office doing that when I was a little kid. I was doing data entry for him when I was, just reaching double digits, probably 10, 11, 12. Then found passion for cooking and got a lot of family that are in that industry, restaurant tours and whatnot. So moved down to Florida for culinary school back in 2004, end of 2004. just in time for the hurricanes back then. It was nuts. Uh, and to summarize that in a nutshell, we got to the point where we started a restaurant, had it for about 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. And then our marriage stunk because we could hardly, spend time together, and that wasn't going well. Then we got pregnant, and that was kind of the moment where I realized that I didn't want to be in that industry and miss being a dad and miss my kids as they're growing up. So I got out of that and went back to my first love in computers and development, and started a digital marketing agency and firm, consultant, you name it. So I've been doing that since 2015, 16. Met a lot of really cool businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs. It's been, I think the best part of that job has been meeting people and what they're doing and seeing their stories, and they're moving from, their full-time job to this side job that they've got going, and they want to pursue that full-time. So being able to help people chase those side gigs and turn them into their full-time thing has been really fulfilling. And I was working with another marketing company up here in Stewart, and I met this guy through that marketing company.
This bald-headed biker guy.
Serge.
Came in with this
Yeah.
idea.
And won't forget that first phone call. We talked for a while up while I was in North Carolina visiting family, where all that craziness is happening right now, just outside of Asheville.
Our
we talked for about
prayers
30
to the
minutes
people
each.
up in the Carolinas and Georgia that got devastated. Us living in Florida, we know what that's like. So hopefully, we stop sending money to Ukraine and start sending money to help the people in that country.
Yep.
But
So,
sorry, Ben. I was going to say.
I was going to say motorcycle.
Motorcycle wise. But so basically, guys, going back to what I was saying in the beginning, as a small business, one of the most costly aspects of it, outside of obviously employees and rent and everything else that you have to do to run a successful business, it was the advertising costs. For a small place, a small business, to spend advertising dollars, it's so expensive. And, companies like Cycle Trader and other firms that you buy or list motorcycle parts, eBay, things of that nature, their prices just started to skyrocket. It made it absolutely extremely difficult for anybody to be able to, with a halfway decent type of an inventory as a small shop, to be able to list their products out there. I mean, it was just choking everybody. The sales of the bikes, it's not like the return was that great when you're making those investments with these companies. eBay's taking fees for this, taking fees for that. Yes, the viewership is good, and I can't really fault eBay. I mean, I've sold probably 2,500 bikes globally through there, but it was just killing the fees every month. If the bike didn't sell, you still got charged. And same thing with, Cycle Trader. I mean, you're spending, anybody who's got an inventory of 15, 20, 30 bikes understands that if you advertise there, I mean, you're somewhere in a couple of thousands a month in cost. So the whole vision, when I sat back and kind of put this thing together for Cycles Worldwide, was like, you know what? There's got to be a better way to help others to be able to build a platform that not only private sellers selling motorcycles, gear, parts, accessories can sell for free, but also to help businesses. So what my goal was to let the small dealers, the small businesses, the large dealers, the large franchises all sell for free on one platform, and let the best man win or best woman win. And for that is, see, it's very hard to compete when you have a certain number of bikes compared to another shop that's got 100 motorcycles in inventory, because, the selection is obviously much better. So my goal was to be able to, from experience in buying and selling bikes for the last 20 years, was to be able to put something out there that somebody can just list it and then let the consumer decide which deal is best for them. be able to sell their motorcycles, put direct contact to you guys. So that we're not in between. There's no fees. There's no algorithms. None of that bullshit. It's just a dedicated platform, 100% dedicated for motorcycle enthusiasts and just motorcycle people globally. And eventually, we want it to spread not only in the U.S., but from all over the world. But obviously, the concentration at this point in time is in the States, just to get this thing up and running. So that was the vision behind this. As Ben was saying, I had contacted a couple of places. I wanted to build a website in the platform, and I had interviewed maybe like 3 or 4 different marketing agencies, and he was working at one. I didn't know him yet. I went through this marketing manager, Monica, and she was awesome. I hit it off with her and loved her, and she introduced Ben and I. Ben and I chatted for the first time. Something just felt right. I just knew that, one, he's an entrepreneur, so he understands the risk involved in starting a startup and going into this, completely, cash strapped. I guess, you start a business, you invest everything you can into what you got, but you also got to put food on the table and got a mortgage and everything else involved. So I pitched the idea. I said, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking to do. This is what I need you to build me. But I do feel that you and I can work together. I feel that, background, knowledge is something that I definitely need in this venture. And just put a contract together and said, hey, listen, take a look at this. You just see what you think as far as partnership-wise is concerned, and you give me an answer back, after the weekend, and let me know what you think. Talk to your wife and all this stuff, because obviously everything startup is going to take up a lot of time. And one of the things that I've always felt that, if you believe in something and you have a passion for it, you're going to find a way. As long as you keep grinding and working hard and working smart and doing things the right way, just like life, right? What we teach our kids, just do things the right way and good things will happen. And, we celebrated, now we've been together for what, over a year, right? When did we start? Been a year, shit, almost a year and a half. And, we are starting to see the light at the end of that tunnel. So, thank God. Thank you. That's all I could say is thank you from the bottom of my heart and our hearts.
Yep. Big time. So tell us about the marketplace a little bit.
All right. Well, the marketplace is a pretty cool setup. We wanted to do, I have been searching and posting motorcycles, gear, parts between eBay, Craigslist, Marketplace, Cycle Trader, basically almost every platform out there that you can sell. And one thing I've always, obviously marketplace, it's Facebook. So, it's the large conglomerate, but what happens in marketplace is that you start to get lost, because they have so much, the marketplace is so wide and so big with so much different stuff that you really do, by algorithms, what you invest, how much you post, it's just one of those things where things just start to get lost, and it's hard to search for bikes all over the country or all over the world, because they gives you a 250-mile radius of where you can find bikes. But so that turns you, then it takes you to eBay, right? So eBay gives you a search engine from all around the United States or all around the world, depending on how you set it up, okay? But in addition to that, what eBay does is they charge you fees to list and charge you fees when you sell. So they take percentages of that, but if you don't sell, you still get charged for the month, whatever it is, okay? So that was, I took into consideration because I was having, listing bikes selling on eBay. I had anywhere between, let's say the lowest was about $800 a month to the highest was about $1,800 a month, $1,600 a month, depending on how many bikes I was listing and selling through that month or through the months. So that became costly, man, because you know what? Over the last 4 years, everybody's been tight. You know, there's not, you know, the 1% people or the people who can buy anything they want. Most of the time, they're going to buy something brand new directly from the dealer, or they're going to buy something rare. Used bikes, you know, if the deal is right, or if they're just a deal type of a person, then they'll keep an eye on that with through eBay or Marketplace or what have you, Cycle Trader. But then I went through Cycle Trader, you know, so if I had an inventory of, let's say, 15 motorcycles, and I listed all 15 motorcycles through Cycle Trader, now I'm at about another $800-900 a month. Now between eBay and Cycle Trader, I'm over $2,000 or more a month, in addition to a $2,800 rent for my shop, my mortgage, and everything else. A small business. I mean, that stuff just adds up, man. It just became very, very difficult. So I was really started to depend on like Craigslist, which is good, but it's kind of dying out, especially in the motorcycle side. There's not a lot of listings like it once was. It's still a halfway decent resource. I'll never put Craigslist down because Craigslist was an excellent tool. They gave everybody a free shot to do what you need to do. You can search it out and so on. Now they charge, I think, like $5 a list to list a bike for 30 days. So the vision behind Cycles Worldwide and our marketplace was to be able to build a platform, have Ben build a platform, and the platform needed to be easy. So it didn't take you 10 hours to fill in information. It was good for somebody who was 60 or 70 years old, who wasn't that computer literate, to somebody who's a young kid that knows computers inside and out and could go on there, do everything within a couple of minutes, create their profile, list the bike, and put it out there. And if they wanted to promote the bike as we grow, as the marketplace grows, then it's only $5 a month to list it and always have it appear consistently. But the beautiful part about what Cycles Worldwide is all about and the marketplace side of it is the fact that if you are in, let's say, Arizona, and you put in, let's say, Street Glide, Harley Davidson Street Glide, all right? Every single Street Glide will pop up, not just in your area, but it's going to pop up all around the United States. So what I wanted to do was create something simple. So basically meaning this person finds, let's say, consumer Joe finds a Street Glide in Florida. What he or she does is they hit a button that says shipping. It gives them an instant quote for shipping. They just got to put in their address, and the address of the motorcycle being sold is already inputted into that. So it'll give them a rough estimate. If they hit interested or pursue, then somebody from a shipping company will contact them, book it, and get the bike to them within 2 weeks. Okay. That was a huge thing for us because we wanted to make it easy, because people get concerned about, like, oh, I'm going to call and deal with all these shipping companies. So we try to get you guys the best rate possible right out of the gate. So you can do it quick, or you can do it through a couple of different companies. However you want to do it, the options will be there. In addition, we also are going to offer and set up extended warranties. So basically what that means is if you buy a motorcycle, certain motorcycles, obviously it's got to be within years age that the companies can cover, but you can fill out a form and get submitted to the warranty company. Then the warranty company sends you an estimate what it would cost you to put an extended warranty on that bike, which is pretty sweet because you can do everything right from there before you even buy the bike. So you get an understanding of what everything will cost. If you're a small business, okay, like I was, okay, like I am, I'm a small business. So usually the financial institutions don't want to deal with small companies. If you don't have a big inventory, they don't want to give you any kind of financing or any of that. They don't give a shit about you. You're not bringing enough numbers to them. So if you're a shop that, let's say you got a service and repair shop, but you sell maybe 3 or 4 bikes a month out of your place because you've got a good location, you can stick them out front, and somebody needs to get financed, they can get financed directly. So if Joe from Arizona needs financing and he contacts, let's say, my business, Nice Ride Inc., because he or she sees a motorcycle that they like, what they can do is hit the finance page, fill out their information, submit. It goes to them. The finance manager will contact them if there's any additional information that's needed, and then be able to put some kind of a plan together for them that they can physically afford. So the marketplace regarding the motorcycle side is, one, it's free for private sellers. It's free for small businesses. It's free for large businesses and franchises. Okay. Everybody can post, create their store, and sell on there. That's an important part, because how much money can you put back as a small business or even a large business that you can put either back into your shop, put it back into your employees, give somebody a raise? I mean, if you're saving $2,000 to $5,000 a month, just think about what you can do with that to invest it back into your business, whether it's employees, like I said, or whatever the case may be, or even how about a family vacation? Jesus Christ. Do you remember those? I don't know. As a small business, the last couple of years, I just haven't been able to do a family vacation for the sake as I'm just living basically check to check at this point in time. I mean, it's hard, man. So, that's the whole goal behind it, is to initiate equal competition for both. Now, say, for example, if you're just a private consumer, or you're a part shop, or you're a gear shop, or you're whatever the case may be, list all your parts for free. We're not going to take any fees from you. We're going to set up a shipping station where you can hit shipping, or if the seller, the buyer is interested in, say, purchasing your helmet, they can see what shipping will cost. Once they buy it, everything is done through there. Tracking numbers are sent through email. I mean, we just want to design a platform that's easy and comfortable and free. Okay. And that's the goal for us, is to be able to get the traction going, and for every motorcycle enthusiast out there to be able to go to one place, cyclesworldwide.com. But yet there's more. That's the selling part of the business. Let's get into, we are going to have jobs, motorcycle industry jobs. We're going to have a resume section where people can put their resume if they're looking for work, where employers can go on to directly. Okay. In addition to lawyers, towing companies, and in case something breaks down. Ben, am I missing anything at this point as far as the things that?
Hey guys, the show will be back in 1 minute right after a word from our sponsor.
Hey, One Gang, tired of feeling like your butt's taking more of a beating than your bike on those long rides? Introducing Butt Buffer, the ultimate solution to saddle soreness. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. These cushions are made from medical-grade viscoelastic polymer, scientifically crafted to eliminate pressure points and keep your circulation flowing. No more numb nuts or numb butts. And here's the best part. Butt Buffer cushions are made right here in the U.S. for the last 30 years. From Harleys to Hondas, we've got a cushion to fit your ride perfectly. Plus, with styles ranging from sleek pebble polymer to luxurious sheepskin, there's a Butt Buffer for every rider's style. Get your Butt Buffer today at buttbuffer.com. That's buttbuffer.com. Your butt will thank you, and you'll ride longer and happier. We've got your butt covered.
Basically all the professional side of things that you need for motorcycles. So, insurance. Also,
insurance. That's right. Yep.
Basically.
And then eventually we'll get into the dating part, but that will be later on as we build a bring the motorcycle, the men and women together, and the people who ride together stay together. That's what we say in our beloved motorcycling world. So basically, that's the vision of the marketplace, is to be able to give the buyer and the seller a free place to go for everything related motorcycles. No algorithms. We're not selling furniture. We're not selling cars. We're not selling sneakers. It's motorcycles only. And the community page, which Ben is going to get into next, is going to kind of give you guys an understanding of what that part of Cycles Worldwide is going to be. So Ben, take them a little bit into the community page, give them a background, what our vision is for that.
Yeah. One cool thing too that you forgot is the stores.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you're a business, you have multiple products, you can create your own store for free. If you're a small creator, like say you're an artisan who works on leather accessories or something, you could list your entire inventory on Cycles Worldwide and not even have to pay somebody to build you a website. All your contact information, everything is there so people can easily reach out to you. We're not trying to stick our hands in your pockets on that end. We're trying to, like I was talking about earlier, help those small businesses grow and turn those side gigs into full-time jobs. Um, so when we started, we were, that initial conversation with Serge, he sold the vision. There's nothing really like this in the motorcycle industry. Online, that there's not really like a one-stop shop for all things motorcycles. And, once we incorporate dating and some other stuff, it'll legitimately be all things gearhead, motorcycle, you name it. And so started with that marketplace, but we realized, we really want to build a community out of this. And how much better would it be to buy a motorcycle from someone who you can instantly see and learn more about them? Like, I'm not just buying from Joe in South Carolina. I'm buying from Joe. He's got these other bikes. He loves to go to Sturgis. He does this and this. As a listing or as someone selling, you don't have to create a profile. We encourage you to, though, because again, that establishes trust between the buyer and the seller, which that's not something that eBay has, not something that Craigslist has. The other thing that's cool is that there's the cross-pollination aspect. So you could create your listing and it pops right up in the One Gang community. It takes all of 2 minutes to set up your account so that you could not only sell or buy, but you can also create your profile on One Gang. And again, there's cross-pollination, so you can link between your listings and your profile page, which is cool. I mean, again, you're a lot more likely to sell a bike to somebody if you can establish some trust with them. And again, that also, your store is linked as well to your profile, so people can get a great snapshot of who you are, either as an individual or as a business. And if it's going to make them feel more comfortable buying from you. So it's going to lead to a more successful listing experience in general. So again, creating a community where it's dedicated to riders only is it's not really something that's out there. It's sure there's little offshoots, subreddits, things like that, but to have a community where everybody else shares the same passion, it's motorcycles, that's huge. There's really nothing. I mean, I'm sure there's some small things around the internet that are similar to that, but creating this experience, this platform that has both the community and the marketplace, as it grows, it's going to be awesome. And to be transparent, what we're trying to do, to generate an income from it, is we're trying to create advertisements, sponsorships, those kind of things, while still keeping the site clutter free. So we're not going to throw ads, on some of these other big names. You're
hate
scrolling
that,
through
man.
pictures
Drives
of
me
a
nuts.
bike you're interested
Drives me
in,
nuts.
and all of a sudden there's an ad for, whatever.
That you got to
apparel
click
company
out of to
that has
get
nothing
back
to
into
do with
what
you're
you were
looking at.
reading.
And yeah,
Fucking pain in the ass.
Or if you scroll down and you're trying to read the specs on the bike, and the next section you're seeing an ad and you're accidentally clicking on some ad, that's not the user experience that we're trying to generate here. And so thinking about, again, this is fulfilling a need, and it's chasing a passion, and we're trying to get creative essentially with how we can monetize things without hurting the user experience by any means. And so you guys can understand the challenge of that with not creating fees for the listing experience. So through that, we've got the shipping, the warranty, things like that. We can, we've organized deals with these companies where it's not impacting your cost as the end user, but we are, getting a little bit of a portion of that sale. So that's another way that we've been able to monetize things. But so to go back into the community more, it's we're kind of a unique community where we were created a community-driven moderation experience. So if somebody signs on, somebody creates an account and they're hitting you up because they're trying to sell you something, insurance, or they're trying to scam you or whatever it is, you can easily hit report and it will flag them. We don't have, nor will we have, any kind of, keyboard jockeys behind the scenes saying that, oh, somebody made a post about a politician I don't like, we got to take that one down. We're all about the First
Absolutely.
Amendment and freedom. And so we've after a lot of conversation decided that the best way to monitor the safety of the community, and really that's just scammers and people who are soliciting, and it's unwanted solicitation, that is easy enough to report from the user side. So it still operates where you're not going to get spammed left and right and get all the annoying ads and people contacting you left and right. That stuff is still going to be moderated and filtered out while still preserving the First Amendment, which is, again, the priority in all of this for us. Yeah, so there's, with it being dedicated to motorcycles, there's no outside noise. It's really just going to be bike centric. And that's what's beautiful about it. You can scroll down the feed and you can see, Jimmy in Utah is working on his custom build, or Nancy in Texas just went to some awesome event. So you can share your life experience, but you can also promote yourself. You can promote your business. You can, like that leather goods guy, you can post your latest creation and provide links. And, we're happy to send business your way. We want to see you guys grow. So you can absolutely share links in those descriptions, which some platforms don't allow. They want to keep you right there and keep you a captive audience. We're all about, a rising tide raises all ships. That's what we're about here. And that's why it's a movement. That's why we're excited about it. And that's why we knew we had to build a community. So again, it takes 2 minutes to sign up. We know that posting, like, oh, great, just another platform I have to post on. We understand if you're trying to promote and you're looking at Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I got to post on all these things. I don't want to have another platform that I have to post to. We want to become the platform where you can't afford not to post on. And the idea will be, you're going to create your post on one gang, and then TikTok, Instagram, whatever else, you're not going to get the same ROI there. So the idea is that I only need to post on one gang. I don't have to worry about Instagram or any of those other guys anymore. So that's the end goal here. And right now, being that we're a startup and we're in the early phases, you guys can get on there now. Again, it takes no time to create a profile, and you can start posting whatever you want. You can dominate the space for whatever it is that you're doing. And with that, early adopters, you're going to get direct benefits from that. So we would definitely encourage you guys to go ahead and start. Our website traffic is starting to snowball. We're starting to get better and better results. We're pursuing advertising and what, money that we're making from our podcast, which that's a whole other thing. But as you're listening to it now, we've got a couple of small
businesses who invested in us, which has been incredible. So we got lucky.
Yeah. So then we're taking that money and turning it right around into advertisement for, it's ad spend.
Ben, let me mention something. You were talking about that community part about, people posting different things about what they do and things like that. One of the crazy parts about the motorcycle world, right, is we're very much like the news today. Okay. And here's what I mean by that. For the most part, bikers all respect each other, but for the most part, not all bikers know about different groups. So usually the Harley guys are the Harley guys, the sport bike guys are the sport bike guys, the BMW guys are the BMW guys, the scooters are the scooters, and it's all separated by what you ride. Me, myself personally, I have to admit, I was guilty of it. My whole world consisted of Harley Davidsons. That's all I grew up in. That's all my shop did. That's all I sold. That's all I know. And that's what I own. I own multiple Harley bikes. But I'll tell you what, since we've started this podcast and having guests come from all walks of life, man, the sport bike world, the custom build world, the touring world, and to be able to learn the beauty of each genre and what they do and how they do it and how their bike performs, let's say for trail riding or for driving in Europe or for being here in the States. It's been so educational and so freaking awesome, man, that, my mindset has completely opened up in regards to like, who gives a shit what you ride? It's that you ride. Isn't that the whole object of this whole thing, is appreciating and understanding what that other person that's passing you by on a sport bike, even though you're driving a Harley, feels in their mind and in their soul, like how free they feel at that moment. So it's not the name on the side of the tank, it's the two wheels rolling, man. So that's what we want to create, is for the education of somebody kind of stepping out of their square box and coming into this round circle and looking around and saying, shit, this is cool. Learning a little bit about what different people do, how different people use these types of motorcycles to do this type of an event, or this type of a tour, or this type of a journey. So it's really good to be able to learn about other people and what they love. And I think that's what's special about our community, is the fact that, we hear noise all day long. You hear us on this podcast when we talk about, the division and the separation. And that's the truth, man. This is how the media makes its money. The more hate and division there is, the better that they do with ratings and end of the year, so their CEOs can get billion-dollar bonuses. Fuck that, man. That's not what we're about. What we want to do is we want to be able to make sure that we appreciate each other, we learn about each other, we help each other. If somebody's busted on the side of the road, that we pull over, whether we're driving a bike or whether we're in our car, we always give them back to somebody who is in the same boat as us, because that's what we want done to us. Learn about each other. See cool things that people do. It's special, man. I don't know. And just if you love it as much as I love this industry and being on a bike, to me, I've always said it, I've done a lot of cool things in my life, but nothing's ever better than being on a motorcycle, traveling somewhere, or being with a good group of friends and being able to go somewhere, stop, have a beer and have a meal together and just bullshit. That camaraderie is special. And that's what we want to bring into the community pages. We want to bring everybody together, man. No, don't be bashing each other because of what you ride, or maybe you don't know how to do a certain thing on a bike. Not everybody's an expert in everything. Our goal with the community is to make everybody feel comfortable. We want the ladies that are coming in that are maybe new to the industry to be able to, save themselves a little bit of money, and maybe they'll ask a question in the community page. Hey, how do you do this? Don't laugh. Don't put anybody down, man. Help them. That's what we're all about, is just help each other be better every single day. And I know that sounds cliche or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it, but that's the vision behind that community page. If you want to be a jerk off, you can stay on Facebook. You can yell in your marketplaces, and you can yell in your groups, and you can put people down. That will not be that will not be accepted, in the one gang. We're here to support each other and help each other. So I hope this gives you kind of an understanding a little bit about what we expect from you guys. Be yourself. You got freedom of speech as much as you want, but if you are being reported for being nasty, disgusting, whatever the case may be, you're gone, and there is no coming back ever. So that's one of the things that we're going to take a lot of pride in. Okay. So I hope that something like that inspires you to come and create a profile and join our community page, because if you feel like we do, then, the one gang is going to be for real.
Yeah. Another thing to note too with the community, if you or someone create content, or if you're in the motorcycle space, we'd love to hear from you. We're looking for opportunities to grow, obviously, but symbiotic opportunities where we can help each other grow. So again, reach out and hit us up. You can do it through the website, cyclesworldwide.com. And that would be, we'd love to start building out some creator relationships or business relationships, whatever it is. We're wide open and looking to get creative with our marketing. Then another cool thing, last thing to mention on the community side, is we are working on a new feature that is essentially, it's a chat model where we're training it on, Yeah, we're you can feed it whatever you want to feed it and create it an expert in any industry. And so we're feeding it all things motorcycles. So not only will you be able to say, hey, how do I change the oil on my 83 Shadow or whatever it is that you're looking to do? It'll give you links. It'll give you direct instructions if you want it to. It's going to be freaking sweet, but you can also get any information you want to about Cycles Worldwide or our website or how things work or whatever it is. We've got all of our FAQs built in there. So it's freaking awesome. We're excited about it. So it's called Kickstand. Serge came up with that a little bit earlier. So we're pumped to start the Kickstand chat. That'll be available soon. So stay posted. Ideally you can log into Cycles Worldwide, start using it, and it can help with, the possibilities are limitless. We can be your own, mechanic, your assistant with motorcycles, whatever you need. So we're looking forward to that new feature.
For sure. That's going to be a lot of fun. And see, our vision was obviously to start Cycles Worldwide and get into what Ben and I just explained to you guys. We did the podcast. I'm going to just kind of briefly touch on the podcast. I mean, we appreciate every single one of you who has listened, downloaded, subscribed. You don't even understand how much that means to us, more than you can possibly imagine. So thank you so much. Share our show. Have your friends, subscribe. It really help us in the long run. Help us bring the good. Subscribe. It really help us in the long run. Help us bring the reason we launched a podcast was the fact that Honda, Kawasaki, Harley Davidson, the major players in this industry, your voice is very small, okay? Very small. If you're an entrepreneur that's creating parts, if you're a rider that's doing a specific racing or a stunt person or whatever the case may be, as all our guests have been, as far as some form of inspirational, with a small business or otherwise. We want to give you guys a voice, man. I mean, it's important that people get to know and understand the great people that maybe they've never heard of out there. So one of the important things for us is that if you know of somebody that you think would be an awesome guest on the podcast just because they're very creative or they've done this or they've done that through the power of motorcycles, hit us up, man. Go to cyclesworldwide.com. Ben and I have our contact information on there. Post something in the community. Just reach out any way you want. I mean, give us their name. We can reach out to them ourselves, or you can, pass our info on to them. We want to just help, man. That's all we're all about. We just want to help and inspire, because one thing I've seen, I'm 53 years old. Ben's a lot younger than I. And one thing I've seen is the decline in the younger generation of coming into, using their hands, building bikes, doing things, being a mechanic or any of that type of stuff. I mean, even like all the schools like MTI and all them, all their enrollments are down big time over the last 4 years.
Yep.
We talk to these teachers. We find out from them what the hell's going on. I mean, we're involved in this community, and our goal is to bring it back out. So for us to be able to bring on influential guests to be able to tell their story, right? So not the final product where they are now and making great money or whatever they're doing, but the blood, blood, sweat, and tears that they've gone through from the beginning, the stages of starting their business, taking that chance, whether they own the business or they work for somebody, who gives a shit, man? But going through those journeys of their life, we want to be able to inspire the younger generation to carry on the torches long after we're gone. Because the way everything is going, electric and quiet and nothing to do except remove a battery and stick a battery in, it's going to be a very boring young generation coming up. And we want to be able to get the kids thinking and using their hands and be able to get parents who are listening to be able to get their kids involved in, whether it's a motorcycle school like one of our guests or whatever the case may be that somebody has or is offering to help other kids to get involved. So whatever you guys can do to help us is so appreciated. And like I said, sharing the show, getting your buddies to subscribe and listen, following us, or just those little things like that just make a huge world of a difference. That gives us the opportunity to be able to bring on great guests, good stories, good life stories, just something inspiring that people have gone through, because we all go through shit. I mean, everybody's got their ups and downs through the course of their life, and it's just good to know that you're not alone out there. So that's an important part of the podcast, and why we decided to do the One Gang Worldwide podcast was for that exact reason of saying, you're not alone. This is how you can do things. There are cases that you can persevere, as you heard through some of our podcasts, of people who've been injured or paralyzed or whatever the case may be, that the things they were still able to accomplish without just giving up. So if we can inspire one person to do something great for the motorcycle industry for the future, man, then we're doing our job.
Well said. Very well said. So yeah, again, just it takes 2 seconds to back up the movement. If you guys like, you can, that significantly helps. Even if you comment, hey, I like this one, or hey, Ben's hair looks stupid.
Serge's hair looks
any
stupid,
kind of
man.
comment.
His hair's too curly today.
Yeah, taking that 2 seconds, even if you're not listening to a whole episode or whatever it is, that is, speaking of algorithms, like we were earlier, that is the secret sauce. So if you guys are looking for ways to help, that's literally it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You can hit notifications if you guys want. We are going to grow, and as we grow, we're trying to stay as true to ourselves as possible and keep our dignity. So we're not trying to hit the clickbait thumbnails, and we've had guests that we could do that with easily. And we're just trying to stay classy, keep our dignity, because we know the motorcycle community and we know that you guys can see through that crap, but also we don't want to be a part of it anyway.
Right.
So if you guys have feedback, suggestions, comments that you want to share with us, things that you think would help, we're, again, all about community. We're both humble guys, and we would gladly take any feedback, any suggestions that you guys have to heart. So feel free to reach out on that
Just
side
be gentle,
also.
please.
We
are human, and we are doing
Serge.
this for free. So be gentle.
Yeah. Come at
All
me.
constructive
We've
criticism
got
is highly gratefully
Yeah.
appreciated and
There's-
respected.
Yeah. There's, both of us are working our tails off to create freedom and be able to pursue this full time. That's what we're working towards, and we'll get there. But in the meantime, it's just me and Serge. So we're going through all these aspects that we can. We're developing different parts of the website. We're creating ads. We're working on socials. We're doing all this stuff. So our time is, every single second we spend is valuable, and we have to be as efficient as possible. So there are obvious things that we're missing that we are gearing towards getting better at, or including like timestamps, for example, on our YouTube videos. We know we need those. We're going to work on that. But if you guys have any comments or suggestions, even if you think they're obvious, we're wide
please,
open and ready
do
to
your
listen.
best to interact and help us out and help us get better. If you like what we're doing here, obviously, I mean, it's important. That would mean the world to us. So any kind of feedback is good feedback. So we're trying to do this the right way. Obviously, our dreams are, steak and lobster, but right now we're eating tuna fish. So we're working as hard as we possibly can on balancing 2 and 3 other jobs to pay the bills and take care of the mortgage, and to be able to do this. And how thankful we are for Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping and Butt Buffer to help us out and believe in our cause and sponsor us, so we can at least take care of the podcast costs every month. That's humongous for us, more than you guys can even imagine. So just come on board, man. You got nothing to lose. It's a couple of minutes. Create a profile. You got an old, pedal or an old rim sitting there that you want to sell in your garage. Put it up there with nothing. I mean, somebody, we're not the eBays yet. We're not the marketplaces yet. We're trending. and we've been trending solidly since we launched, and our traffic has steadily increased. Eventually, we will get some money behind this where we can invest a lot more into our advertising campaign to be able to generate the traffic. But you know what? If this is what it takes, the organic way, the humble way, to be able to have the few people that listen to us or the few people that follow us to share it to their friend or tell them, hey, listen, if you got this, post it on there, it's free. Maybe you can get, that will attract more eyes that start clicking on, will become searchable.
Yep.
And, obviously products will start selling better. So just little things like that you guys can do. I mean, I know it sounds like we're begging. We may be begging. It may sound like begging. Part of us might be begging. I'll be honest with you, because for us, traffic to cyclesworldwide.com is everything. But we understand the reality of this thing, man. It's going to take a little time, and it's going to take people like yourself who've entrusted your ears and your time to listen to us and to listen to the podcast and still click on and see what, the One Gang is all about, what then Cycles Worldwide is all about. So we appreciate you more than you can possibly even imagine. So hopefully we'll be able to listen to this podcast that we're talking to you right now at the end of 2025, as we're one of the best and most searchable motorcycle communities and websites in the world. And that's going to be all a part of you guys. So we will never change for you. We will always be this. We will never charge you any money. It will always be free. The money, it will be collected through the larger advertisers. The people will have all the money to advertise. And once we build it to the way we want it, nothing will ever change. So just remember that. I'm telling you that right now. And you guys can hold us to that for the rest of our lives, as long as Cycles Worldwide is in business.
Yep. What's Serge?
So I guess, well, why don't you tell them a little bit about, we got some good stuff coming up on the podcast, guys. Some good stuff coming up.
We've got a handful of ones that we've already recorded, so they're in the editing stage. And I think what we're going to do is probably do like a season 1 and season 2. So we're going to kick off our season 2 soon here with a builder personality that you guys have probably seen on TV. So we're super excited. We're crossing a threshold and getting a really awesome guest.
One of those guys that we love, U.S. born guy, started a small business, took a chance, was an incredible motorcycle builder on top of created his parts company. And now he's one of the most recognizable names in the motorcycle industry. We had Sacha Kraus on earlier when we first started, who is from Kraus Motor Co. So that's one of the best companies out there, U.S. made companies. So he's been a blessing, to watch him start from nothing and build a small empire. And this guy is going to be so awesome. We don't want to say nothing because we don't have the dates locked out just yet, but we will probably before the end of the week for the actual podcast. And you guys are going to be very, very happy. We got some great influencers coming on too. So a lot of guys who have a strong background in the industry that are very well known, whether it's custom painting, pinstriping, things of that nature. In addition to, we got some great guests that have done some cool things between travel and positive things to the motorcycle industry, as we have from the guests from day one. So we're going to just try to continue to do what we can for you guys and be able to give you a genuine show without, the bullshit, I guess. That's the easiest way to play it.
The BS.
The BS. Sorry for my potty mouth.
Yeah.
Grew up in Boston, so that's how pacifier, wicked pissa, and swear words. That's how we grow up. But other than that, guys, I guess we'll cut the show, and just I'll do my ending, and I'll let Ben finish the show, and just say, truly, thank you so much. Thank you for believing in this, and thank you for taking the time to listen to us and support us. It means more than you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, it's been a harrowing journey to 50 episodes, but we're here. It's been a lot of work behind the scenes, and again, that work pays off when you guys are listening and engaging with us. So we appreciate it. Again, we're listening to you. We'd love to provide the type of content that you're looking to enjoy. So again, if you've got ideas for guests, people you know, whatever it is, we'd love to hear it. But we're all about you. Neither Serge nor I are comfortable in the spotlight, but we know that a lot of people out in the country need to get their message heard. You know, going back to touch on JP, that really cemented for me that we're doing something important here, and getting JP Chief on a month before he passed and recording that and having that documented in history, you know, throughout time. That's something that wouldn't have happened if Serge wasn't calling him, emailing, checking in, seeing, you know, getting these guests booked up. So that's another aspect of this podcast, is we are documenting history and getting guests like Buzz Cantor, these guys who've been in the game for so long. You know, maybe they're not likely to ever record a podcast, but we convince them and they believe in the movement. So they're going to come and spend an hour with us. And that's incredibly humbling and fulfilling at the same time. So thank you guys genuinely from the bottom of our hearts for tuning in, for supporting us. We really do appreciate you guys. And we're looking forward to season 2.
Right. Everybody ride safe. Watch out for the crazies out there. Enjoy. Breathe deep. And just keep the knees in the breeze.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Be
you,
good.
guys.
See you guys.
Love you.